people. Hope you're well today. So today's Monday, the 4th of January. So most people go back to work today. I'm coming live from Sydney, Australia. Hope everybody's well. Oh, damn, I forgot my microphone. So hopefully the sound is good. Let me have a look. Okay. I think I'm going to use this little headphone. Okay, so I want to talk about, now you're probably sick of me, sick of hearing about 75. I haven't really spoken about it so much on social media. I speak about it here and there. I didn't like track my journey and daily diaries and things like that. But I just completed, on the 2nd of January, I completed my 75 hard. And I had people reaching out and asking, you know, they want some advice, they want to start it. And a lot of people were quite motivated and inspired by this program that I just completed. So I wanted to share, and then yesterday as I was reflecting, I wrote down some of the reasons why I started, some of my lessons learned, like some of the lessons that I learned, some of the benefits I won't forget so I continue with this healthy lifestyle, and some of the tips for people if they wanted to start, tips that I learned other people that had, you know, I watched their videos before I even started, and tips that I discovered on my own. So what is 75 hard, for those of you that don't know? It's a challenge. Well, he calls it a program, but it's a mental toughness challenge. He says that it's a Mount, so Andy Frisella says that it's a Mount Everest of the mental toughness. And he says that for 75 days straight, if you can do these 5 things, when you come out of it, your life will be changed. You'll feel a lot more confident, a lot more vibrant, healthy, focused, and so many benefits. And I do agree, because I've just finished it and I feel really happy and amazing. And I mean, I've always been a confident person, but my level of confidence has gone even more, not to the narcissist level there. Okay, so what are the 5 things? Number 1, follow a diet, 0 cheat meals for an entire 75 days. Number 2, work out twice. One has to be outside, rain, hail, or shine. So 45 minutes each workout, rain, hail, or shine, you work out. It has to be outside. There were many days it was 40 degrees. I was so hot. I was so dehydrated, and you know, I was getting sunburnt. And there were other days where it's raining and I'm just drenched wet, and I had to still work out and do my walk or do my run. Number 3, drink a gallon of water. So that's almost 4 liters of water a day. I think number 3. Number 4, read 10 pages of a book. It has to be non-fiction. And number 5, take a progress picture every single day. And actually also part of the program, no alcohol for 75 days. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, for those of you that might not know what it is, I want to talk about why I started this challenge. So I was in a vegan bodybuilding group, and I've always been into health and fitness for a long time, you know, on and off. Sometimes I'll progress and I'll look amazing, and other times I won't, because I would have fallen off the bandwagon. One day I was in this vegan bodybuilding group, and this lady, she posted how she, and I should thank her actually, because she posted how she just started this challenge and she feels amazing, and she posted her before and after photos. And I went to, and she said, you have to listen to Andy's podcast before you start. I listened to Andy's podcast. This was about 1.5 years ago. And to be honest with you, when I listened to it, I got really scared, because those 5 things, although, yeah, some people, they might do 1 or 2 things, but you have to do them every day. And if you fall off, if you forget to take a photo, you actually have to start again from day 1. You can't continue going. You can't say, I finished 75 hard if you missed a progress photo, or if you had a cheat meal, or if you missed a workout. So what was the block for me was the 4 liters of water. I was someone that actually always avoided drinking a lot of water because of the inconvenience of going into the bathroom, and somebody with a very weak bladder. So my whole day, even when I didn't drink a lot of water, was like, you know, I used to always worry about, where am I going to go? Do they have bathrooms? Is this going to be a long drive? Should I drink? And so that was a block for me. But eventually, I think during COVID, so just before COVID, I was very into fitness. I was building muscles. I was doing a bit of bodybuilding at the gym, and I was looking great, like really good. I was following a really good fitness program. And suddenly, because of my work, and I'm somebody that can become hyper-focused, so I got so focused on my work. And I was spending 12 to 16 hours daily working on this project. I was building an online course. Within 3 months, all the hard work that I did went undone. Like 3 months, it just went undone. One day I went on the scale and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And it's so easy. Like all the work that you do can be undone. And it wasn't like I was so unhealthy and, you know, yeah, of course I ate takeaway food here and there, but it was all the sitting down and all the stress and all the non-exercise. So that can be done so fast. And then I looked at this challenge, and also it wasn't just my health and the weight gain, it was more the lack of focus. So I was so unfocused. I wasn't focused. Yeah, I was hyper focused on my business, but I was scattered everywhere. So I think I came across this challenge again. Maybe I saw it somewhere. I can't remember exactly. And I'm like, I have to do this. But the thing that got me through the challenge was I posted about it on LinkedIn, and then I had like so many people said that they want to do it with me. So I created an accountability group, and it was those people in that accountability group that held me accountable. And suddenly I had peers that I had to set an example for. So there was no failure, like I could not fail whatsoever. So that's why I started it. So what I want to talk about, and I've written some of these things down, is I'm going to give you some of my lessons. I'm going to give you some of the benefits that I've had from it. And then I'm going to share with you some tips on how you can, if you want to take up the challenge, like some tips to make it a lot. I mean, it's meant to be hard, but obviously I want to give you tips. So just for you to have a, to be successful in the program. Okay, so some of the lessons is, number one is I have more time in the day than I think. We all have the same 24 hours, and I used to think I don't have time to exercise, or I don't have time. But you know what? If I wake up a bit early, I get off social media, I don't watch the Netflix show that I want to watch, whatever it is, I don't just waste time procrastinating. I have time. Like, I mean, I had time to do 2 45-minute workouts. So that's really important. Number two, I have the ability to become organized. So I've always been somebody that's not very organized. Scatters everywhere. My PC is very disorganized because I'm an artistic person, so organization is not my thing. But during this process, I learned to be a lot more organized, a lot more neat, you know, and even organizing my day into my calendar and working in chunks, because I couldn't afford to fail the challenge. So I had to make sure that I was time managing when I drink my water, when I exercise, in between, obviously, when I have my client meetings, and what I need to do as well. And okay, so number three is I learned self-discipline. So this is probably the most toughest thing I've ever done. The self-discipline involved of not eating that cake during Christmas, or not because I had to do it over Christmas, or not having that wine when I go out to a bar with my friends. So I realized I have a lot of self-discipline, which is going to help me obviously with the confidence. Number four, I learned I can drink a lot of water, and I did not realize, like, I can drink a lot of water and I'm not going to pee my pants. So it almost happened once, actually. There was no bathrooms around. Yeah, I kind of did. There was a little accident, but overall, I'm not going to pee my pants. And the last thing is I can do anything. So, you know, it just makes you feel like you can. Obviously, I'm not like superhuman. I am going to have my challenges, but I feel that I can do basically anything in life. Okay, so now I want to share some of the benefits. Like, what did I get out of this? Why should you do this? Like, some of my benefits are my benefits. Some of my benefits could resonate with some people that have done it, or some of my benefits, you could also have them, or you can have more benefits because everyone's different. Number one, I have more clarity and focus. Now, drinking water helps me with clarity in when I'm presenting, when I'm thinking. You know how sometimes you get foggy, that brain fog, and you don't know what that word is, or you forget that specific detail, or you forget that person's name. I remember even on the third day, I had a training event, and I drank 2 liters of water before I got to the event. I was running the event the whole day. And I was so sharp. And one lady, now I'm known to have a bad memory. One lady at the end of the session, she said, wow, you've got an amazing memory. Like, you know so many things. And I was like, okay. And then I thought, okay, it must be. And also I was sipping water. So I would have had 3 liters of water by the end of the day. And number two, I'm more organized in my day. I already spoke about that. Number three, I started to learn how to get up early. Now, I haven't been someone that sleeps in. I've gotten up around 6:30, 7. That's my usual time to get up, but I had always been envious of those 5 a.m. rises. Now, I don't recommend if you haven't if you go to bed at 1, I don't recommend that you wake up at 5. And I'd never do like this. So if I slept late, I made sure I got my 7 hours, but I had no choice because the next day, if I had to run a seminar and I had to drive, I had to be at the seminar to set up at 8 a.m. I had to get up at 5 a.m. to make sure I had at least a liter of water, and I had time to go to the bathroom, and I had time to do my exercise, and I had time to do my breakfast, and then the time to get to that seminar. Because if I did not do that 3 stuff, after the seminar, I would not have been able to do a lot of things. Then I have to do my second workout. So that's made me get up, especially on days where I had a lot of things happening. Number 4, okay, so this is amazing. I did get a headache once in the whole program because I think I had too much salty food. So the food, it was healthy, like it was like nuts, but they had a lot of salt on them. So I ended up getting really like a headache. But I'm somebody that used to get at least 1 headache or 1 migraine a week. Now, if you're not a migraine sufferer, you might not really appreciate the level of pain. And this can cause you to not be productive in your work, not want to exercise, to kind of feel this fogginess. So no headaches. And I forgot to say, I did this the first time 57 days and I had a week break. So overall, like 100 and something days, I've had 1 headache in 100 and something days, which is amazing. More energy. So don't get me wrong, if sometimes I over exercised or I was working or I had stress in my work, I did feel tired, but overall, comparing it to my level of energy before I started this program, it's there's no comparison. I started to feel addicted to working out. Like even yesterday, so yesterday was my first day that I didn't do this program, and I woke up straight away and I did the most intense, I actually did the most intense workout, even more intense than when I was doing the program. And so I got addicted to working out, thank God, because who doesn't want to be addicted to working out? That's a great addiction. It's better than any other addiction in the world. Okay, so I feel that I look better now. If I look at some of my photos before and after, you can see like sometimes I looked a bit more tired, more puffy, my skin was a little bit more uneven. And I had some people asking me, have you had Botox? And my cousin was insisting that I had Botox, and he would not believe me. And, if someone's had Botox, they'll get offended, but I was so happy. Like that was like the best compliment anyone can give me, ask me if I've had Botox. So what else? Okay, just like, so I'm almost 40 years old. So I'm not talking as somebody that is like 30 or something like that. Okay, so look better. Now I did lose a few kilos, but I don't look at it like I lost weight. I did put on muscle. So when I was weighing myself, I don't really know, but I did lose like, I think 3% body fat, which is quite good. I gained muscles. So overall, I started to see like I started having muscles in places that I've never had before. I'm more toned, more confidence. So I've got more confidence in my ability, and also my abilities to be productive, and in my abilities to work out, and in my abilities to be healthy. And there's a lot more, but that's just some of the things that I could think about on the top of my head when I was reflecting yesterday, when I was writing them down. Now, I want to give you some tips before you start this challenge. If you are looking to start, some of the tips that I learned overall, it was like 130 days that I did this challenge overall with a week break. And that week break, when I stopped this challenge, because I don't know if you guys know, the first time on day 57, I failed because I forgot to take a photo. So I had to start it again. I took a week break and I remember feeling so sick, so lethargic, anxious, depressed. I had a migraine because I went out and I ate all this greasy food. I had so much sugar. I didn't exercise. And you could feel like night and day the difference between being healthy for 57 days, looking after myself, exercising, moving my body for like a week, not doing that. And I was meant to take a break for a month, and I was actually planning to do it after Christmas because I thought, why would I want to inconvenience myself and my family during Christmas and New Year's? But I ended up getting back on track, and I had to do it over Christmas and New Year's because I had no choice, because I just felt like shit. And that was a good experience. Okay, let's talk about the tips. Number one, before you start this, understand why you want to do this. Like, why is this important? Think about the pain it will cause you if you don't get healthy, you don't get mentally tough, and meditate on that until you feel the emotion of feeling mega disturbed. Number two, immerse yourself in information before. So for a whole week before I started this challenge, I immersed myself in videos of people that have done this challenge. I immersed myself in health videos, fitness videos, nutrition podcasts, and just the benefits of getting healthy. I listened to Andy's podcast on a lot of stuff to do with mindset. And I fully immersed myself in the why as well, why it's important to get healthy, why it's important to do this. And also I immersed myself in people and their stories, and I followed them, whether it's on their Facebook posts, I followed the hashtag 75, and I was just looking before and after and looking at their lives and how amazing. And I was fully sold. So before I got into this challenge, I was fully sold on why I have to do this. So number three, plan your day. So don't just get up and go with the flow. Unless obviously you don't have a full day and you don't have a full-time job. But if you have a full-time job or you have a very busy business like mine, you have to plan your day, because I had weddings, I had events, I had to travel for work. Like I basically had to travel, get on the plane, go to the airport, which is a full time out of my day, to be on a plane and having to think, when am I going to exercise? When am I going to drink the water? So plan your day really well. So number four, do your first exercise first thing in the morning. Okay, if you get that first exercise out of the way before you start work, you'll feel amazing, you'll feel energized, and also you would have a lot more time. So then you have that whole block of time to do your work, to focus on your projects. So because the worst thing is you're in momentum, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you're working, you're in momentum, and then you're like, oh my God, now I have to break my momentum so I can go work out or do this chore or do something like that. Okay, also number five, have active recovery days. Now you have to work out every single day, twice a day, but some people, they started complaining, or even me, I started to feel really fatigued or muscle soreness, and I wasn't having good recovery days. So recovery days means that yes, you still have to work out, but you can do yoga, you can do stretching, you can do walks where you're not putting your body under stress. So I was doing 5 days a week of intense exercise, but then I was having 2 days, and sometimes it could be 3, depending on how tired or fatigued I felt, where I was having active recovery days. I think I'm up to number 5. Okay, number 6, make sure that you have healthy snacks stocked up in your fridge. You've gone shopping, you've done everything that you need to, because the worst thing, and if this is obviously if you live alone and you have the power, don't just have junk food in your fridge and things like that. But even like I got to the point where people bought over food. I had my family stay over, and they bought cakes, like vegan cakes and vegan junk food. And I got to the point where I was in the challenge, like there's no way I'm touching that on day 50 or day 60 and ruining, there's no way I'm going to start all over again. Okay, make sure, so take your photo, because one of the activities, take the photo first thing in the morning. Don't wait until, because a lot of people have messed up, like I think 99% of people have messed this challenge up because of the photo. It's the most easiest, simple, least time consuming thing. And because it's the least time consuming thing, a lot of people forget. It's either the photo, and sometimes it's actually reading the book, where people fall asleep or they forget about that. But so I stuffed up on the photo because I think maybe I did take it, but I didn't save it in my phone, or I had a memory of taking it. But even then, so just make sure you get that photo out of the way. And lastly, your diet. So make sure, I know that, you have to eat healthy and clean. However, make sure it's sustainable. So if you go on those very extreme diets where it's super, super, super healthy and you're losing a lot of essential nutrients, that's not sustainable. So you'll end up binging. So make sure it's something like, my diet was healthy. Obviously I didn't have soft drinks, I didn't have fried food. I didn't have heavily, so 90% of my diet was non-processed food, but there were sometimes it could be like something processed where it could have been like a pumpkin soup. But I looked at so I made sure like it didn't have more than 5 ingredients if it had to be processed. Or sometimes, you know, yeah, so eating things that were healthy, but there was no way, like once I made the decision, there's no chips, no fried food. It doesn't matter if it was a falafel, I was not putting that falafel in my mouth, no matter how much I thought it could be a healthy falafel. White bread, I gave that up completely. Junk food, like all the chocolates, the chips, the ice creams, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, did I make myself a nice ice cream made from frozen bananas and salted caramel, a clean protein powder? Yeah, you can do that kind of stuff too. So, but as long as it's clean eating, there's not a lot of chemicals, not heavily processed. But as I said, make it sustainable, because some people go on, you know, they might do like a full-on raw food. Like it doesn't have to be vegan, by the way, just because I'm vegan, but they do like a raw vegan, or they do where it's so extreme and clean, they end up being very fatigued, and that's not the time to do it. Maybe you could do a 30-day, 7-day fast or a 30-day shred after you finish this program. And just remember that this is, as much as, yeah, you're going to get fit and healthy, this is a mental toughness challenge. It's meant to be hard. It's meant to test your patience. There are days that you're going to end up crying, wanting to give up. I remember when I was moving house and I was doing my workout at 1 a.m. in the morning because the removalists came really late to my house. And I was like, there's no way I'm failing this. And, you know, I'm almost in tears. I'm going to pass out, and I'm reading my book while I'm doing my yoga stretches at 1 a.m. because there was no way I was going to do an intense, but I was doing my yoga stretches and I'm reading my book and almost falling asleep. So there are days that you'll get tested, but it's meant to be tough, and enjoy it. And, you know, if it's really easy where you're somebody that doesn't have a job and you live a great lifestyle and you have servants or whatever, and the easier it is, the less mentally tough it is. If now I don't have kids, but I think if you're someone that has kids, you have a demanding job, and you do this challenge, then I think, man, the mental toughness that you have is even like the highest level of mental toughness. But if you're living in a bubble where you don't go out and you're not doing anything, and you know, you do all your online shopping and you don't really work and everything is there and you have catering and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I mean, it's easy, but it's not going to test you the same way as when you have a busy lifestyle and you have to manage your family, your friends, your relationships, your dating life, and your work, and do this challenge. Anyway, so that's enough from me. Hopefully, if you are interested in doing this challenge, Google 75 Hard by Andy Frisella, but I will put the details in the link, and I'll put the details to the podcast. Now, I don't recommend doing this challenge before listening to his podcast and really understanding what it's about. There's no compromise. Like, you can't drink 3.5 liters of water. It has to be a gallon of water. You can't just do like a 40-minute exercise or like, you have to do the extreme. Otherwise, you're not doing the challenge. Now, also, I have an accountability group with some amazing people, and we have fortnightly sessions, which are not compulsory to attend, but we have fortnightly Zoom sessions, and we really encourage each other. So if you do want to join my accountability group, it's for free. You're more than welcome, as long as, you know, you're not a crazy person and you're positive and you're going to add value and, you know, be accountable. Other than that, thank you so much, and have an amazing morning, day, or afternoon, or night. Ciao.